it's easy to get wrapped up in your feelings when your team that you've been rooting for, cheering for, going so hard for, celebrating, just truly, truly getting behind your squad for so long. When they lose in a championship game, it's really incredibly hard to take. Even if you're not on the court, you're not a player, you're just a passionate fan, it's really hard to endure. And so just imagine how I and plenty of other Iowa Hawkeyes fans felt when we lost the national championship game to the LSU Tigers. But not only that, we had to deal with people taking shots at our dazzling superstar player, Caitlin Clark. We had to deal with people saying like, oh, it's just a team full of Caucasian females. It was some very strong shots taken at the team, at the program. And none of it was warranted, and I get it. Caitlin, sometimes she would showboat. And I actually credit her for being a very, what's the right word I'm looking for being a very aggressive, fun, energetic, in your face type of player. Like her having that edge, that grit, that look at me, I'm the best, is what all of the greats have. So I took nothing away from her. And when Angel Reese did it back to her, things just came full circle. I never looked at it like, hey, it's a racial war. But I've been cheering for Iowa for a very, very long time. And I've been a Caitlin Clark fan since day one. And the truth of the matter is, I didn't care about the whole angle of Reese versus Clark. Like, we lost the game. That's all that mattered. Like, I actually cheered for Angel Reese as she led her team on the national championship run. But once they got past Virginia Tech, I'm not rooting for you against my Hawkeyes. And I was probably one of the very few fans who actually said, when we beat South Carolina, when we shocked the world and beat South Carolina, man, I'm so into this video, I forgot to introduce myself. This is RC Talks About Basketball. Like, share, subscribe. If you could, leave a comment. That would be outstanding. But back to what I was saying. When we beat South Carolina, and I don't know what happened, we all probably celebrated. We all were happy. Iowa Hawkeyes fans, Caitlin Clark fans, anybody from the state of Iowa, Clark fans around the world, Iowa fans, alumni, just people that love Iowa. You got fans from all walks of life, just like pro sports teams and other collegiate programs. Fans could come from anywhere. So I was ecstatic that we beat South Carolina, but I held back because, I know the ultimate goal in sports is always to capture the championship. So I was very happy. But I said I was going to hold it back so we could win the national championship game. Then I was just going to unleash and go wild. Unfortunately, it never occurred. But looking back on that fatal championship loss, I've said this before. Jasmine Carson was unbelievable with her 3-point shots. Caitlin Clark literally, for the first time, just either she felt that she had to, or the obvious sign was that everybody was not lockstep. Everybody was not in stride together. Offensively, we were funky a little bit. Defensively, we were just completely out of character. And so I felt like Caitlin had to do so much. And in the second half, when we was making a charge at them, we just ran out of time and we just couldn't get quite enough shots. We got hot in that second half. Would have gave us like another 10, 15 minutes. maybe we might have been able to, close the gap. But hey, I will never forget 102.85, sitting there in disbelief, couldn't believe it, because I was just, I was hoping for the ultimate, nightcap, the ultimate, even though it was a day game, I was hoping for the ultimate conclusion, which would have been Caitlin celebrating the championship. And I think she took losing about as great as any great player ever could. I truly felt for her in the post-game presser. Shows you just how humble and how enduring and how great of a basketball player and just a human that Caitlin really is. Didn't mind to be consoled by her teammate Monica and in public. Even in loss, we went out as champs. And nobody even had us penciled in to go as far as we did. And I just look back on it, and I'm like, as a fan, as a CC fan, I just don't see, a better team out there that made such a magical run as we did. And I also happen to root for, the UCLA Bruins and also the Purdue Boilermakers, but I would take precedent because I've always rooted for Iowa first. And it's just the program has been so magical since Caitlin has been here. And every year she has done nothing but get better. And, hey, I would argue somebody under the table with any three of my teams. But when it comes down to the Hawkeyes, is first and foremost, I'm rooting for them first. And then after that, then we got UCLA and Purdue. So, when my Bruins went to the Sweet 16, I was elated. But when my Hawkeyes made the national title game, I was just like a pig in slop. So that's probably the best way I could talk about the preference of my teams and how they stack up. But I'll be cheering for all three of them, of course. But my Hawkeyes, Caitlin, even if she decides to leave, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get up out of here. But even if she decides to leave, right, because she said she was at like a 6 out of a 1 to 10. I was reading an interview that she did. They asked her like 20 rapid questions, and I was reading it online, I think in the Gazette. And, it's crazy because the Gazette and all those different publications, newspaper publications, say you can read 3 articles for free or 4 articles and then you got to pay. I'm not paying for that. I'll just go to another site. But yeah, she said that she was at a 6 on a 1 to 10 scale. No matter what, I'm going to support her. It doesn't matter where she gets drafted to, grabbing the jersey instantly, gear. I'm just a big fan. I've had people tell me like, why do you go so hard for Caitlin Clark? And I say she's a winner. How can you not root for a winner from your team? Anybody else would do the same. So that's pretty much what I say, and I'll leave it at that. And, to me, best collegiate player out there, bar none. So I'm going to hope that we just really get after it this season, show competitive spirit. No, we don't have McKenna. No, we don't have Monica Cesano. But trust and believe, I wouldn't give this team to no other players to make it work outside of Caitlin, Kate Martin, and Gabby Marshall. And I believe, not just because I'm a fan, I believe in this team. I got us penciled in as being in the Elite Eight already. And it's not just them. I'm crazy about women's college basketball. I got my Elite Eight already in my mind, already, somewhere nailed together on the board. But hey, guys, it's been great. If you're an Iowa Hawkeyes basketball fan, please subscribe to the channel, especially if you're an Iowa women's Hawkeyes fan. I do like the men's team as well, but the women's team, that's who I root for like crazy, crazy, crazy. So, hey, subscribe to the content. I have more content coming, more WNBA content coming. I got some NBA content coming. And of course, I got more women's college basketball content coming. So, yeah. With that being said, it's RC. I'm out. I'm gone.